Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to night number 78 of the overnight feed recaps for Big Brother season 25. Night 78. That means we've only got 22 days left, 3 weeks. That's incredible. Tonight, we've got an eviction ceremony, which I think the results are pretty much a foregone conclusion. Corey and America on the block. It sure seems like Corey's going home. I cannot picture any situation where that doesn't happen this evening. We're going to lose Corey. The big question is going to be who wins the HOH that's going to be following behind that. What kind of HOH is it going to be? Everyone's convinced it's not going to be a physical HOH since we've had so many here just recently. The backyard is still open, so it's not going to take place in the backyard. I don't know. We'll find out. It's going to be fun. Certainly huge impact based on who wins the HOH. So let's talk about what happened yesterday. As I mentioned, the backyard's still open in terms of campaigning and everything. Corey, certainly all day yesterday, not so much last night. He was busy with other stuff last night. But yesterday, Corey certainly trying to do some campaigning, but also it seemed like he was just trying to, I don't know, throw some wrinkles into the plans, blow up Matt and Jag's games a little bit, making people a little bit nervous as well. Bowie Jane really feeling the heat yesterday because she's kind of seen as a swing vote from Corey. He's figuring if he could get Suri and Felicia, he still needs one more vote. Doesn't think it's going to be blue, so Bowie becomes a target. Bowie finally had enough of it. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but she certainly felt the heat from some campaigning going on yesterday. But Corey campaigning, America, maybe a little bit, but not quite as much as Corey. All right. We did have Corey show up yesterday wearing a pink suit. I guess this is what he was planning to wear for finale, I guess. But Corey wearing a pink suit, looking very much like an extra from the old Miami Vice TV show of the 80s. A lot of y'all don't even remember that. I love Miami Vice back then. But yeah, Corey looking like he would fit right in that TV show, wearing his pink suit, trying to pitch to Suri. He introduces himself as her attorney, Corey Wattenberger, I guess, and saying, I've got 3 clients that I'm here to help out. I'm here to help out you. I'm here to help out Felicia. I'm here to help out Bowie Jane. So he's campaigning, but he's trying to make it a little bit lighthearted as well, having a little bit of fun with it. And I think at this point in time, that's probably the way you need to handle it. He sees the writing on the wall, but he's still going to try. Fight to the very end, Corey. So he's pitching to her a little bit, kind of just saying the same stuff that he's always said before, that, Matt and Jag are so powerful. Why in the world would you hold on to them? You need someone to help. The same stuff we've been hearing. All right, we did have a conversation between Jag and America take place. Now, remember, after the veto ceremony, America not real happy with Jag. She had a few choice words for him when he suggested that they could talk at one point. Well, now she's chilled a little bit. It's the time has gone on, and now they're willing to talk a little bit. They're laughing throughout the conversation. They're trying to smooth things over as much as they can as well. Now, remember, it is worth it. It is to Jag's advantage to try to have. We don't think America's going out tonight, but certainly for him to try to smooth things over with America. Not just because of what's happening inside the house and strategic gameplay in the house, but it's all about jury management at this point in time. So everyone treating Corey and America just, well, most people with kid gloves tonight and yesterday. But Jag and America are talking. They're laughing a little bit while they're doing it. She is apologizing for telling him to bleep off after the veto ceremony. Now, apparently, we haven't seen the actual veto ceremony itself, but apparently, when she got put up first after Blue pulled herself off, she thought she was just going up as a pawn. I guess she was then given a chance to give a little speech before the second veto was used, and apparently she was not taking it seriously. She made a joke out of it, and so she's kind of apologizing for that as well. But she's kind of saying, I was just very upset that I was blindsided, as opposed to, she's saying, you could have told me. Wouldn't have changed anything, but at least I would have known. So she's a little bit upset that she was blindsided. Jag is telling her that he really felt betrayed when things that he had told Corey in America, and I think that's about targeting Blue, when things he told Corey in America got back to Blue, and then he heard about it, so he felt a little betrayed because of that. America's admitting, she says, I'll admit, I kind of hinted to Blue that she was going to be going on the block, that she was a target. She said, it wasn't anything against you. I just didn't want to see her getting blindsided. I was just trying to be compassionate to her in doing that. But yeah, I kind of did hint to her that she was going on the block. So she's backing up, confirming kind of some of the stuff that Jag was saying. They have agreed to keep the game from personal as much as they can, which I'm always an advocate of. I think that's the way you need to play this thing. But they're saying, it's not as though we aren't going to continue to go after each other, probably, likely. But we're just going to realize that there's the game and there's the personal, and hopefully we can stay friends, even if we are going after each other. And America's saying, yeah, I'd like that. And as much as I'd like to be friends, and I'm going to try to, she's saying it's still kind of awkward, the position we're in, but I'll try. And that may be about the best you can expect at this point in time. America is talking about the fact that after Corey, Jag is probably her best friend in the house, and she hates to lose that. Jag's responding, saying some of the best times that he's had in the house this season have been with Corey and America. Remember, they had the Unreliables pseudo joking alliance, whatever, but they've been tight in the past. So he's saying some of my best times have been with the two of y'all. So I just hate to see the way it's gone, and it's sad, but it is what it is. But at the end of it, it's not as though he's not still going to be going for America. It's not as though America still isn't going to be targeting Matt and Jag if she gets a chance. But at least they've got a chance to speak. And hopefully it's the situation where once the game is over, I don't think they'll hold this as a permanent grudge against each other. And that's what needs to be done. So I'm glad they had their little conversation. Don't think it changes anything, but glad they had their conversation. All right, America, she's continuing on a little bit with Jag, moving on to the strategic part of it. She's saying that she'd like to stay in the house longer than just one more week. She's recognizing Corey's probably going home, but she doesn't necessarily want to just go home right behind him either. So she's saying, I really would love to stay for an extra week. She's saying that there certainly are others besides you, Jag, or Matt. There are others that have betrayed me, so don't think that it's just you that I'm going to be going after. There's plenty of fish in the sea, so to speak. So she's mentioning that. She's also telling Jag that everyone sees their relationship right now as a war between America versus Matt and Jag, and she's saying that's a perfect cover for us to potentially work together, may do something where maybe we could make something happen between the two of us. And Jag said, see what we can do. America now, while she was talking, she did reveal an all-girls alliance that Blue had proposed. Several people, Felicia's talked about an all-girls alliance. Blue has certainly talked about as well. She's mentioning that Blue had suggested one to her, calling it the Sirens. I don't even remember that alliance. So many alliances this season. But she is mentioning to Jag that, yeah, there was this women's alliance that Blue had proposed. Now, if I'm America, I don't think it changes anything, but if I'm America, I may be a little bit cautious before the eviction vote takes place, mentioning an all-girls alliance, because if I'm Jag and if I'm Matt, anyone mentioning anything about the girls banding together is going to make me a little nervous, make me a little paranoid. Is it enough to convince them to keep Corey and send America out so you still have 3 guys and 4 women? No, probably not, but it's certainly something to continue to think about going forward. But her objective is to show that Blue maybe isn't as tightly aligned to Matt and Jag as maybe they think she is. And I think Jag realizes that. I don't think that Blue is Matt and Jag's number 3 at this point in time, but America's making sure that she points that out. All right, we've also got let's move on to another conversation. We've got Blue talking to Suri, talking actually to Suri and Felicia. She's saying, yeah, America and I, we talked to each other, and I think I'm okay with America now. I don't remember. I guess America was a little more wanting to hash things out than Blue was at the time. Blue seemed a little standoffish at the time, but now Blue's coming back and saying, yeah, America and I talk. I think I'm okay with her at this point in time. And the talk then moves on to who's maybe not so tight with each other. And Felicia's talking about Bowie Jane. She's saying, oh, Bowie Jane. She's saying she is so tight with Matt and Jag. That's who we've got to watch out for. So it certainly seems, based on what Blue is reporting and then what Felicia's reporting, that at least in these women's eyes, Bowie Jane is a bigger target than America is going forward. So keep that in mind. We'll see if that affects anything, assuming one of these people wins the HOH, which may be quite the reach at this point. All right, we've got Corey, because remember, apparently Jag can compete in the HOH this week. Even though he's an invisible HOH, he gets to compete again. So it's going to be him and Matt both fighting for the HOH. But it's not physical, so who knows what we're going to get. All right, we've got Corey with a long talk to the cameras. Is it his last soliloquy before we say adieu? Perhaps so. Corey's talking to the cameras. A nice little conversation. He's pretty sure he's going home. I think he said 95% certain. He's where I'm cooked. Yeah, you probably are, Corey, but he's saying he's pretty sure he's going home. That he's honored to have played the game. He had fun. What the incredible experience. Win or lose, it is so amazing. So yeah, especially a fan like Corey, he'll always remember it. He'll always have it. We'll be happy to welcome him to the Big Brother family. But he's saying he's honored to have played the game. He had fun. He's happy to have made 79 days. A little dig at Suri, I suppose he said. That's 3 Survivor seasons. Or maybe it's a dig at his brother who lasted, I don't know, a couple of days on the Survivor Island. So he's saying, yeah, I lasted 79 days. I'm very proud of that. He's saying that in terms of the people left in the house, that Matt has played the best game so far, and that certainly Matt or perhaps Jag would get his jury vote if they're up on the block, or if they're up in the final 2 chairs and not against America. If America's up there, we know who's getting the vote. But if America's not there, Matt's getting his vote, and if not Matt, Jag. Corey feels like they deserve it at this point in time. He's saying that he does feel a little bit bad about ending Izzy's game the way he did, but he also stands by his decisions of basically voting out her and Jared and Cameron. All 3 he felt like were the best moves to make. Feels bad about it, but thinks it was the best strategic moves. The one move that he talked about that maybe he's thinking twice about is sending Nicole out the door over Felicia. He's saying, yeah, maybe thinking back, I should have held on to Nicole. Maybe we could have made something happen at that point. He talks a little bit about Cameron, says, I just don't really like Cameron. I think he said something like, I'll leave that to viewers to figure out why and all that. But he says, I'm just not a big fan of Cameron, so happy to send him out the door. Well, have fun, Corey. You get to spend the next week with Cameron. Just until you're hanging out together. We'll see. I'm sure they'll be fine with each other. He doesn't think that he's as shady as people think he maybe is. He says, they're getting called out at a couple of these evictions and stuff. It certainly didn't help, but I'm not shady. I'm just trying to play the game the best I can. So he mentions that. He does think that this double twist really hurt him. Absolutely. He said if it just been a single veto, if I'd been put on the block as a backdoor, if America had been put on the block, we could have worked with that. But to have this double veto twist, it just killed my game. That happens sometimes. But yeah, he's right on that. He says that if he was Jag, he would have done exactly the same thing that Jag did. So Corey obviously is looking at this from gameplay standpoint and not making it a personal vendetta, personal grudge, and how he's going to vote in the jury at the end, or just analyzing the game. So he mentions that. He does say that with regards to America, that maybe they're not going to be in the house together, but he has plans for to know her for a long time outside the house, and that it's really strange that getting into relationships so quickly isn't something that he really does. Who would have ever thought that was the case, Corey? Now he says it's not really me, but it just kind of happened while we were in here, and it is what it is. I'm looking forward to spend a lot of time with her later. So best wishes to you, Corey. All right, we've got America and Corey now talking a little bit together. I think they started off out in the hammock in the backyard. Eventually, they moved into the kitchen. Corey's cooking himself up a last big old bowl of pasta. But so they're talking a little bit. America's sad. She's kind of rotating between some sniffles and a little bit of outright crying. Not a lot, but a little crying, a whole lot of sniffles, and just not feeling great about the whole situation. She is talking about Bowie Jane at one point, saying, Bowie Jane, she's just gone too far. She flip-flops with whoever has the power at that point in time. Corey is saying that, they feel comfortable, and I assume he's talking about Matt and Jag, He says they're feeling comfortable if Bowie was to win HOH. I'm not sure if they should feel as comfortable as they think they should. He doesn't think that Bowie Jane's quite as attached, and maybe it's because he's been trying to push that agenda for the last couple of days that they aren't watching out for Bowie as much. So why should Bowie watch out for them? But he's mentioning that they're very comfortable with Bowie Jane if she wins HOH, but maybe they shouldn't be. We'll talk about that more in just a second. But he does mention that. Corey's talking about his eviction speech, that he gets to talk, plead his case before everyone casts their vote. He's going to say that basically Matt and Jag are in the dominant position in the House, and that one of them is going to get his jury vote if they make it to the end. That's just a dagger. When someone says, if they stay to the end, I'm voting for them, everyone else is going to be looking at that person. Just one more reason to get that person out the door. So yeah, Corey certainly, as much as he's willing to vote for one of them, as much as he maybe admires and respects their game, doesn't mean that he's not going to do what he can to trash as he heads out the door. And potentially part of that it isn't just personal anything. It's the fact that if he can keep the target on Matt and Jag, maybe he keeps the target off America, who certainly he wants to go a little further. So there is a reason to his madness in throwing that out there. All right, we've got Cirie. Oh, we also one more thing. Corey's also saying that once he's gone, America should get with Bowie Jane, talk a little bit, and out the alliances of 4, alliances of 5. There's so many alliances. Basically, he's saying all these alliances that we had with Matt and Jag, with Cirie and Felicia, out them all to Bowie Jane. Let Bowie Jane, anything that Bowie Jane wasn't a part of, make sure she understands that she wasn't a part of it. So even after he's gone, Corey's trying to make sure that they continue to push this idea that Bowie Jane is just a little accessory right now for Matt and Jag, and there isn't anything beyond just a short-term alliance existing with these 3. All right, we've got Cirie talking a little bit, mentioning that I think she came in for a second, going to the diary room. Perhaps Corey's in there in the kitchen. Cirie mentions Felicia and Matt and Jag are all at the pool table talking and playing and all that. And Corey says, hey, Cirie, is that the final 3 out there around the pool table? Felicia, Matt, and Jag? Cirie says, yeah, maybe. So again, Corey's really hammering home who could be the end game people in this thing. All right, Cirie is talking to Blue. She's telling Blue that America, that she talked to America earlier, that America is very much going after Matt and Jag if she wins this HOH. And she also tells Blue, she says, look, America really thought she was connecting with you until this week and everything that happened. So just so you know, I mean, she felt like she was sincere in connecting and all of that. I think this is an idea of Cirie trying to make sure that they can pull America on board with them, and realizing there could be some friction between America and Blue. And so doing what she can to maybe get that resolved a little bit, with the idea that you could have Cirie, Felicia, America, and Blue on one side, and then the 2 guys and Bowie Jane on the other side. Just the thought in terms of why she's throwing that out there. All right, we've got Matt and America talking. Well, first of all, we've got a kind of a funny one. Corey talking to Cirie. I think they're outside at the time. Corey's asking Cirie, how would she feel if one of her kids was on a reality show and got into an intimate relationship while they were on the show? Yeah. Well, when Corey finds out, it's going to be hilarious. I don't think he knows. I don't think Blue's told him anything. I don't think he's guessed anything. I don't think production. I know production hadn't told him anything. I don't think he knows anything. It's just one of those coincidental weird things that he asked her that question because he's thinking about himself being in that situation and what his parents are going to think. So he's asking Cirie. But yeah, that was pretty funny that he would even mention that. Boy, is he going to be surprised on day 99 when he finds out. All of these house guests, because Julie's not telling anyone who goes to jury. So it's going to be a big reveal as part of finale night. And we'll see what everyone does with that information. Votes will already be cast. It won't matter in terms of who wins, but I'm waiting to see everyone's faces. All right, we've got a Matt and America talking a little bit. I think they were up in the have not room. America's just talking again to Matt. She's saying how much that blind side hurt. I think she tells him, say, yeah, you could have told me. You could have just let me know. So she's talking about that. She's talking about her conversation with Blue again. She's going over the same stuff that she's gone over with everyone else, that she was just trying to work with Blue, and I think she said something about they were trying to hype each other up a little bit, and that it's just one of those things. So she's going over that. Matt is making it clear to America, saying, Jag just kind of came to me and said he'd talked to Blue, he'd heard this, and that he was going to put you up. So he's basically throwing Jag under the bus a little bit. He's making clear to America that it was Jag's decision. It wasn't a mutual consensus conversation. It was Jag's decision to go after Corey and America. He's doing it partially because if she was to get HOH, of course, they're both going up, you would expect. But he certainly would rather have Jag be the target more so himself. But I think as much as anything, it's just Matt doing his job of staying on good terms with people as best he can and helping out a little bit with his jury management by making sure America realizes that it wasn't me. I no blood on my hands this week, America. So he does mention that to her. All right, we've got Jag and Bowie Jane checking in a little bit. They're talking about how much they trust each other, how much they trust Matt, how they are a strong trio to the very end. A bunch of rah, rah, rah. We love each other. We're good to the very end kind of conversation. I think Bowie Jane's hurt so much. So she's wanting to check in a little bit. Jag's getting nervous about could they hold on to Bowie Jane. So he's checking in. Them just making sure each other is pumped up and knowing how much they absolutely trust each other to the very end. And I don't think it's insincere. I do think I do think Matt and Jag right now are probably looking at Bowie Jane, certainly looking at her as a stronger ally than Blue, which is going to be a surprise to Blue. I see that. Matt, would he stick with Bowie Jane or Cirie, for example? Not sure about that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Matt and Jag. But they're doing what they can to make sure that Bowie Jane feels still comfortable, still part of the group. All right, we've got Cirie and Felicia talking a little bit. First, let me say this. A very hard conversation to watch. I was so tempted to turn the feed somewhere else because during this whole conversation, Felicia is messing with her feet. She's got an emery board. She's filing away her, I guess, the skin on her heel. She's got a clipper. She's cutting her nails. She's sitting on Cirie's bed while she starts this off, and you can tell Cirie's not saying anything to start with, but you can just see Cirie just kind of looking over there and have a little bit of a look of disgust on her eyes. Eventually says, all right, that's the end of it, Felicia. Once you start talking about toe surgery, you're getting off my bed. She kicks Felicia off the bed. Felicia comes back over later, and Cirie's complaining that now she's got foot skin dust all over her bed and toenails all over her bed, to the point that she goes over and grabs the lint roller and rolls it all over her bed to get all of the Felicia residue off of her bed. I feel you, Cirie. I absolutely was thinking the same thing. Yeah, she's not happy with the fact that Felicia's doing all this toe stuff on her particular bed. So it was funny, but also a little bit of that as well. Some of the stuff people do in the house. In my house, it was people popping pimples on each other's backs in front of me. I couldn't stand. But if they're cutting nails and stuff, I'm right there with you, Cirie. So yeah, she was talking about that. A little tough to watch, but they did have a long conversation. Felicia saying that she asked Matt this week if they were to win HOH, if it would be Bowie and America going on the block. But apparently Matt hinted, confirmed that, yeah, America, but probably America and Blue rather than America and Bowie. So that's certainly hitting home or letting Cirie and Felicia know where their true alliances lie, because he's talking about Blue instead of Bowie Jane at this point. And Cirie's saying, yeah, I understand that. I'm not surprised. Felicia is worried that Matt and Jag would put up Blue after telling her she's good, after going on and on about how great they are with Blue, that then they turn right around and put her on the block. And she's got to be thinking, if they do that to Blue, why wouldn't they do that to me as well? So she's a little bit worried about that. She's saying that a few tears from Bowie Jane is all it took, and now she's tight with the guys again, and they're looking elsewhere. And that Bowie Jane just a little woe is me is all she had to do. So she's not real happy that Bowie Jane is where she is, that she's gotten as far as she has without maybe getting blood on her hands and all of that. She is saying that if they put Felicia up as a pawn, she's already been up 5 times. She's saying if they put me up, even if it's just as a pawn, they're gone. I'm getting them out of here. She's not happy at all for that. She's saying we're supposed to be a final four. Cirie and me and Matt and Jag. If they put one of us up as a pawn, what does that say? So she's saying if they do that, come double. They're gone. They're out of here. I'm not putting up with that at all. All right. Felicia's also worried that Matt and Dan. I think this is an interesting point. Felicia's wondering about this next HOH. She's saying, what is a possibility that Matt and Jag would throw this HOH to Bowie Jane if they have the chance, depending on what kind of HOH it is. But if they have the chance and can get away with it, what are the chances that they would throw the HOH to Bowie Jane, let her put up America and Blue, and then they both can play HOH the following week? They get out probably Blue. Worst case, they get out America. Either way, they both are able to play the next HOH and make sure that they're still able to have the power when they absolutely need it. That this next week, not that it's a throwaway week, but that there's a couple of people that they could probably go after that the majority of the house isn't going to be huge on. So she's wondering, just throw it to Bowie Jane, and now we got to deal with both of them next week as well. And I think that's certainly something that Matt and Jag may be considering. They think that Jag is the glue holding everyone together on that side of the house. They think that if Jag was gone, Matt would be a little lost. Not necessarily the case the other way around. If Matt was gone, Jag would probably still be okay. Plus, remember, I feel like Cirie and Felicia both feel like they're a little bit tighter with Matt than they are with Jag. So they're talking about Jag and really identifying him as the primary target that needs to go first. Cirie's talking about the fact that here the last day or two, everyone's being super nice to Corey and America because they're trying to kiss up to him for their jury votes. Well, yeah, of course they are. You should be doing it. Both of y'all should be doing it as well. That's the name of the game. But they're recognizing that people are bending over backwards, bringing stuff to Corey and America and doing everything they can. And we saw some of that. Cirie and Felicia both were kind of playing little motherly roles to these two and doing their own form of jury management. But they're noticing that other people are doing that as well. Felicia is talking about if there is a double eviction coming up. And I think Blue had said there can't be a double this week because the backyard is still open. There's not enough room for it. But Felicia's saying when we get a double eviction, I really want to put Matt and Jag up together and maybe get them both out the door. And Cirie's saying, yeah, that's fine. Felicia's thinking as well, or at least wondering, if deep down, does Matt really want to take Jag to the very end? Does Jag want to take Matt to the very end? Is there a possibility that even if they don't actively try to do it themselves or talk about it, is there a chance that each of them wouldn't be necessarily so upset if the other one went home? So she's starting to wonder if maybe you could create a little crack there, or someone could sneak in, if that is the case, into a final two chair. So she's talking about that a little bit. Felicia's also worried that Bowie Jane getting separated out would be a little bit of a problem. I'm not sure why I put that down. I will follow back on that later. But she says if Blue and Bowie are on the block, that Cirie and Felicia need to vote out Bowie. I think she's worried that Bowie Jane is always going to be tight with Matt and Jag, and recognizing maybe the same thing Corey's been trying to point out. Well, I know Corey's been trying to say you aren't tight with them. Cirie suggesting that maybe Bowie Jane is tighter than Blue is. So saying if it comes down to it, we got to vote out Bowie over Blue. And she's saying we need to make sure that we do that. Well, certainly it works to their advantage to have Bowie out over Blue. America, who they would want to get on board, they'd need America's vote to send out Bowie instead of Blue as well. I'm not so sure that America would. I don't know which way she'd go. I think she'd be happy sending either one out, but I think there's a strong possibility that America maybe would go after Blue instead. We may get the chance to find out. All right, we've got Felicia talking about if Blue was to go this next week, that it could turn into a 3 versus 3 situation. It could be Cirie and Felicia and America versus Matt and Jag and Bowie Jane. That could be interesting, huh? Now, in terms of winning HOHs and controlling the rest of the season, I think I gotta go with Matt and Jag and Bowie Jane in that particular battle, but you never know. Expect the unexpected, right? But she's pointing out you could end up with a 3-on-3 here pretty quickly. Felicia's also pointing out that Matt and Bowie Jane have never been on the block so far this season, and had how mad she will be if Jag is HOH and puts one of them up on the block instead, Suri or Felicia. They're gone. If they do that, they're gone. But yeah, Bowie, Jane, and Matt, the only two that have not been on the block yet this season. And maybe a couple of weeks more, they still may not be on the block. She says that if Jag puts her Felicia on the block, not only is he gone, but if he's not gone, he's not getting her vote. There's no way she's going to vote for someone that does her like that. They are agreeing that Matt and Jag need to go on the block together right now. Don't wait till Final Five, which was the discussion I had earlier in the week. Saying now we got to do it as soon as we have the power, put the two of them up together. Otherwise, it's going to be too late. You're really going to have everyone going against Matt and Jag this week, which Matt and Jag should have known that. Maybe he should have kept that HOH invisible. But if Bowie Jane got HOH, I think she'll leave Matt and Jag alone. Obviously, Matt and Jag win HOH, they're safe. Anyone else in this house gets it, I think Matt and Jag find themselves on the block. All right, we've got Felicia talking about putting up Bowie Jane in America. And then backdooring Jag if she was to get HOH. I know there's no more backdooring taking place. There's not enough people left in the house. Everyone is going to be, well, let's see. Is everyone compete? As I say that, you actually have 7 people. So I guess you could have one person sitting out. So theoretically, you could have a backdoor, but the chances, the odds are very low, especially with house guest choice sitting out in there and all that. No, you don't do that, Felicia. Don't get that fancy. You pick your 2 biggest targets, you put them on the block at this point in time, and just put it out there. But she's talking about this idea of maybe doing a backdoor Jag. Cerise saying, look, Matt, Jag, Bowie, Jane, I don't care who necessarily, I don't care how it happens, but one of them has to go this week. If not, then that's probably it for us. We've got to get one of them out this week. There's your 2 nominees in your back door, your renom order, however you want to put it out there. All right, they start studying at that point dates and events, just in case this is some kind of a memory competition. So they're trying to work with each other on that. It certainly seems like Felicia's a little bit better on the memories and dates than Suri is. All right, Bowie is... I mentioned that Corey's been trying to let Bowie know how that she's just not quite as tight with Matt and Jag as she maybe thinks she is. Well, she's had enough of it. She's just finally fed up with it all. She's in the kitchen. She's, I'm done with it. I'm going to go tell him I'm not listening to it anymore. So she's, she leaves the kitchen. She marches into the bedroom, their bedroom, this outer bedroom, the black and white bedroom. I still don't know what you call it, but the outside bedroom that Corey and America are in. She runs in there. She demands that they stop campaigning. She's had enough of it. Just stop campaigning. She's telling him that her mind's already made up. She said, I don't think we're supposed to say who we're going to vote out. But I'm just telling you, my mind's already made up. Corey and America know who she's voting out as well. She says, my mind is made up. So just stop campaigning. Just stop. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear any more of it. Corey and America, meanwhile, they were busy keeping each other's company underneath the blankets at that point in time, and kind of had to poke their heads out to hear what Bowie had to say or demand and all that. They're kind of smirking. I won't say laughing. They're just kind of smirking a little bit, smiling a little bit. They're telling Bowie that say, "No, we're good. You're good. No more campaigning. Yeah, we get it now. Just it's the last thing on our mind, Bowie Jane. We're not talking about campaigning right now. So." Be gone with you. They didn't say that, but that was a look. It was actually funny because Bowie is so upset. She's so just ready to make her stand and have this discussion and push through everything. And America and Corey couldn't care less about campaigning at that point in time. They got other things going on. They just want Bowie to leave at that point. So I don't think Bowie was quite as effective as she thought, but she's told him stop campaigning. Well, I think it would have been funny if Corey immediately said, "So, are we going to put off that one-on-one till in the morning? Then is that what you're telling me, Bowie?" He probably could have had fun with it, but I don't know. Now I don't know from Bowie Jane's standpoint. Is that what you want to do right before someone heads out the door and potentially you need their vote for jury? You got to treat everyone with kid gloves at this point in time, and campaigning's part of it. You may be tired of hearing it, but someone's fighting for their life, so. Put up with it. They'll be out the door. You're still in the house. You'll be okay. All right, we've got Blue and Matt and Jag and Bowie Jane in the bathroom, talking. Not really game talk, but just feeling a little confident. We'll just use the word confident. They're talking about what extra thing could they do when one of them wins the next HOH. What could they possibly do as a little bit of a bet based on who wins? They talk at one point about doing laundry for the HOH winner. Well, for those of you who don't know, when you win HOH, you get a big laundry bag and you're allowed to put all your clothes in it. And Big Brother Production actually does your laundry for you. I think it's only one time, but they'll do all your laundry for you. You get it back and it's all nice and folded and fabric softener added in. And a nice little perk they don't always talk about a lot on the show, but they're saying, well, no, they already wash HOH's clothes, so that's maybe not that big a deal. They're talking about making dinners for them and just making bets to reward whoever gets this next HOH. So again, they're feeling pretty comfortable that one of these four is going to win it. That as a result, all four of them are going to be safe because surely it's going to be America or Suri or Felicia who goes up on the block, right? Right? As Hassam says, right? Yeah. Maybe if I'm Blue, maybe not be quite so confident in the way things are going to turn out. But they're all laughing about what they're going to do with the next HOH. All right, we've got later just Matt and Jag and Blue go outside. So Bowie is left. Matt and Jag and Blue, they're outside. Blue's talking about how much she wishes it was a double eviction so she could send out Corey and America both. It's not enough just to send Corey out. It's not enough to send Corey out because you won veto, pulled yourself off. Now the wishful thinking is that she could send them both out together. Well, there's a possibility, Blue, that you may be getting a goodbye message from America come next week. So, be careful. Don't get too cocky with your conversations and all that. But she's wishing she could go ahead and say goodbye to both of them right now. And then we had another little funny part that Cerie's laughing, talking to Felicia still in that back comic room. And she's saying, I got to get up, but I don't even want to go through the other room with Corey and America there. She said, they may be making a porn movie or something in there. So she actually, when she gets to the door, yells out, I'm coming through before she opens the door and leaves. So they're laughing. Corey and America getting their last evening together. And all of that. So she's giving a little privacy as she goes through, interrupts and heads out before coming back, going to bed. We've got America and Corey just with a lot of lovey-dovey talking about how they met each other, what they thought when they first met each other, just kind of reminiscing about all their days and nights together. So they're doing a lot of that while they're talking in bed, enjoying their last evening inside the Big Brother house. Now, according to Corey, it'll continue on in the jury house, and who knows beyond that. But at least inside the Big Brother house, the final evening for Matt and Corey, so they're taking advantage of it. And with that, guys, lights out by about 12:30 or so Big Brother time. Not a really late evening. Everyone's trying to get some sleep, getting ready for the HOH that's going to take place this evening. So in summary, nothing changed. Corey's still going home. America's still feeling a little bit guilty about it, but she is trying to figure out who she can work with. There's some people talking about working with her. It's all going to come down to the HOH tonight. We'll see. There could be one or two surprise people based on who wins that thing and what happens in nominations tomorrow. I'll be there for it. I'm so excited to see it. Now, for those of you who maybe tape the shows, why would you tape Big Brother? I know why you would, but Biden is doing a presidential address tonight. It may delay Big Brother. I don't know. I'm not CBS programming, but just be warned, you could have a possibility that Big Brother is going to come on, 30 minutes or so later because of the presidential address. So if you're recording the show, maybe add a little bit extra onto the recording time. What would that do? I don't know. With live, if there's a live HOH or something, we'll find out when we get there, but just be warned. Guys, y'all have a fantastic Thursday. Props to Corey for 79 days. I'm looking forward to the HOH, and I'll be back tomorrow morning to let you know what happened, who's in control, and everything else that's going to happen this week coming up. Until then, guys, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye.